How's it going, everybody? Thank you for tuning in today to Laing's Karate. Today I wanted to walk through the knife defense. Now, a lot of people think, or a lot of instructors teach, that it's going to be cut and dry like what you see in the movies, and that's not the case in a real life situation. You'll see a lot of people say, well, an opponent, they're going to come up top and try to stab you. You can block and then counter, or they may come straight in and try to stab you. You can block and counter, and that's not the case in a real life scenario. There's nothing or no style out there that can teach you anything that's 100% foolproof against a knife. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get cut in some type of way. But what you can do to minimize the level of impact is to process that situation. Make sure that you're reading the signs. So let me show you how it would go in a real life scenario. So I have an opponent here. We're getting ready to fight, and I feel like it's time for me to get ready to use my weapon. So now I'm coming in and I'm already stabbing. Okay? And I probably punctured something, and the first thing that he's going to do is fold in on himself. He's probably going to back up and fall, and now he's in a very bad position now because I can just continuously stab him. Okay? So if you're processing that situation, if I'm the opponent, the first thing that I'm going to take note of is that we're already too close. So, and this is why I love talking about the beginner level kicks. You know, I've talked about them in many of my videos, but they're very important that you can practice these kicks and get them down. Because let's say this is your circle, right? That's your comfort zone. You don't want anyone getting inside of your comfort zone, because that's where you feel that someone can't reach you, and that's where you'll take the minimum level of impact. Okay, so with those kicks, let's say, you know, this is my opponent, he's coming in and getting ready to stab. I'm doing a kick right away. That's why I say I love to lead with my kicks. Now, I may get cut. He may end up cutting my leg. Hopefully he doesn't cut me to a point where I can't defend myself. But 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to take the least amount of impact by kicking him off of me. And that'll keep him away. So I want to control my circle. I don't want him close to me. Okay? So let's say you're in a situation where it's multiple opponents. You assume that one of them that they're about to attack you with a knife. If you're processing that situation, you have to find your exit point. You have to say, okay, after I do this technique, or after I hit this opponent, I can get out of their fight. There's nothing wrong, and this is what I love to teach. I love to teach first, you have to talk yourself out of a fight. And if you can't talk out of it, there's nothing wrong with running, because then you've potentially saved yourself from getting hurt, from losing your life, or from hurting someone else. Your last method of defense should be a physical one, okay? So if you see someone is coming in with a knife, process that situation. Don't think or assume that, yeah, since I know some type of self-defense, that I have to prove myself into using that self-defense. There's nothing wrong. Let's say someone's coming from behind and you think that they have a weapon. There's nothing wrong with kicking them off of you and running, okay? So in this video, I just wanted to talk you through processing the situation. Once we can get past the pandemic and everything and I can work with someone else, I'll show you some techniques that should be able to help you with a situation. It's not going to be 100% foolproof. As I mentioned, it's not going to help you 100% of the time with the techniques, but it'll at least give you an option. It'll give you some options. So just to reiterate everything that I've talked about in this video, keep someone out of your circle. Keep your distance. Use those kicks. Use those kicks. Side kick, front kick, back kick. Use those kicks. And if you're looking at a person and Right? If you're looking at a situation, if a person is coming up to you with their hands behind their back, automatically assume that they have something in their hand that get ready to try to hurt you. Automatically assume it. And if you assume that, go the other way. There's no need to stay there and fight. Okay? So I want you to take this. I want you to process this mentally. And if you're in a situation, especially if you're out in public, if I'm out in public, and let's say I'm walking in a mall or in a store, I like to know where my exit points are. I like to stay close to the wall. That way I can know if someone's getting ready to attack me, that there's no one behind me. And that's one less thing for me to worry about. So make sure that you know your situation. Thank you for tuning in to Laing's Karate. I'll come out with those techniques. As I said, it'll probably be at a later time, but those will just be to give you some additional options to use. Once again, thank you for tuning in. I want to get you well on your way to learning some self-defense.